Hello and welcome to the Blue Tweezer channel. Myself, Alan, of the channel for our 6th episode. Well, number 6 of Carry Battle Philippine Sea from Compass Games, designer Jon Southard. And we're almost towards the end of the game now. We are now on to the 1610 turn of June the 19th. The game actually finishes in 2 turns time, 1850 dusk. So it can go on a little bit further to land aircraft that need to land on carriers, etc. But essentially, it's pretty much over at that point. We have the 2 days of daylight left, 2 turns of daylight left. So let's see how much damage we can do. Just to recap the situation, we do have our Task Force 58 here has detected an air raid coming in from VPs 2 up here. We have an airstrike heading the other direction, which hopefully will get there before the location, the detection kind of expires. Over here we've got another airstrike heading towards VPs 3 and 4. VPs 3 we'd already, VPs 4 we'd already damaged, sunk a carrier and damaged another one. However, we don't know where they are. We're hoping that our search plane will spot them for us. Otherwise, they've got nothing, nothing to bomb. And we have another VPs down here, another carrier force down here, which I think we're going to run out of time for us to do anything about them as well. There's some cruiser forces here, here and here. One is heading in, but I think we're going to run out of time on turns before it can actually get off the invasion hexes and give the Japanese some victory points. And yeah, there's another one here, and there's some battleships in with the carriers up here, which we have damaged with an airstrike. Previous airstrike missed the carriers, went for the battleships, and almost crippled one of them, heavily damaged, and some light damage on another. And of course we have our submarines zipping around, which I think we'll need to ask to get busy now and see if they can attack and sink something at least. Anyway, anybody in the chat, please do let us know that you can hear me and see the board. That'll be great. And let's crack on, shall we? So we've got to put our chits in the cup, which are these. Let's get them all in. And of course we pull out 3 per action phase, the 4 action phases for the turn. That moved there. And yeah, first thing we do is to move Japanese air raids. So this air raid will come down to here, heading towards Task Force 58. And that's all the air raids that are around. Roll for our mission movement. So roll our mission movement dice, which is a 7, and draw our chits. So 3 chits, one after the other. VPs 1 first, so that's these guys down here. VPs 1, we've taken 17 air points out of that force there. So it's unlikely to see any significant air raids from that direction, but let's just see if we get one. We are now on 1610. This is the last turn of 0 modifier for the turn. And as far as distance goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hexes away. That's a -1. So 5 or more for a raid, -1 on the dice. Let's just move our dice tray in at 9. No, that's good enough. So we do have a raid. And we have a known air strength for this level 2 intelligence force. So we're on this chart. Current known air strength is 1719. So we're here. So let's roll the dice and see what they get. We have a modifier. They are meant to be 3 or 4 CVs. So that's 2 columns to the right. So we're on the 24 to 27 column here. Roll a 4. A 4 is 11/10. So one wave of 11, one wave of 10. That's 21 strength points. Doesn't sound like that's actually going to really appear, because when we look at our where are we? Look at our air strength reduction chart. So this is the previous losses and unavailability here. So we got 21 initial strength for the air raid, but they have 19 unavailable. Nothing is available that we know about. So when we get to the 19 chart, we do actually get a raid, but it's only four aircraft in size. So just another last ditch air raid coming in. And how far away is that? Our intercept range. Where do we see it? Intercept range table here, there. And it's 7 is 4 hexes away. So count 4 hexes away from our task force. 1, 2, 3, 4, probably there. And they're coming in. We don't know the complete composition, but it's going to be 4 naval air points coming in, which is not really that significant a raid. I think it's more cannon fodder for our Hellcats, to tell you the truth. Anyway, what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to let everybody know that I'm live on social media. Give me a second. Right, okay, on we go. So VPs I 1, we've got an air raid set for them. And then we can move the force 10 hexes away for a carrier force. 10 hexes away will, and it's in the eastern map zone, it is going to do a mission movement. So the 7 takes us in this direction. That's our submarine, which is pinned from previous turn. And that's VPs I 1 done. So next, actually, one thing we will need to do is, now that naval air is now available, actually I need to just check. That will actually change things, because this is now available on 0 to 3. Let's roll that. So it might affect that size of that raid. On a 9 it's not available, so it doesn't affect the size of the raid. It's still being worked on in the hangars. Let's move on. We have Force K. Force K is this cruiser force here, which is going to do mission movement. And the mission movement is 7. We are in the western half. Yeah, so yeah, just a surface force. 7 is straight ahead, so it's coming this direction. Not particularly significant, to be honest, to the outcome of the game at this point. Next yet is the US move. Right, so what I want to do is move further towards the Japanese forces here, so our airstrikes can get back quicker. So we will move a task force there. Our intercept squadrons stay behind. And that's it for our US move. So that's our first chits for action phase 1. We now move to air missions. I think we will, looking at should we try and move 2 with these to knock down this air raid early? Well, air mission 7 is only 2, and air mission 4 is significantly bigger, actually. Where is air mission 3 now? 3 is, yeah, they're the cap, so they can stay as they are. We will attempt to move 4 and 7 into this hex. That's moving 2, so that uses 2 fuel, but possibly use more. So we'll roll for the first mission. Actually, sorry, that's not 1 and 2. That's the wrong ones. Oh, we haven't set 4 and 7 is there. Actually, 7 is quite low fuel, and 4 is okay. Maybe we don't do that. We need to land these guys then, it seems. So we'll move into there instead. That will be a fuel used there and a fuel used there. I'm not convinced. Haven't set these guys up. I'm pretty sure they've just appeared. Not sure why that they would be on 0 now. Well, we'll let it go, but I think I might have done a mistake there. So yeah, they're just going to come in here. What we might do is send our cap, Intercept 3, out to meet this air raid from the task force, and we will need to then set the fuel for them. So let's see what that is with our intercept fuel level. That's a 2, which is not good. It's only fuel level 10. I may of course use 1 to do the move, and they'll be able to do some intercepting there. Alright, and our airstrikes move, of course. So our airstrike is going to move further out. Airstrike going to move here, and that's all our missions, I believe. Yeah, they use fuel each. They're actually the airstrikes up there. That's everybody, I believe. Yep. So on to, we have a search segment available. We're going to do that because of course we want to find these guys here. So let's move our spotter planes. These guys are coming back. 1, 2, 3, 4 to there. These guys are coming out. 1, 2, 3, 4 and turning around. They could spot VPs I 1. It's in their zone. So let's roll on our, can't find it. It's our air search table. It's here. So we're looking for a 4. These guys are now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So now count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 hexes away, so that's our -2 on, yeah, -2 on the search dice. Let's see what it is. That's a 9. Okay, 9 is -2 is a 7. 7 is a spotted and a chip +1. So it's a spotted. Let's put the marker on there. We've seen them, and it's been reported. Plus chip +1. So currently VPs I 1 is a level 2 intelligence chip. It's going to go to a level 3. So let's see on here what we need to do. So this is a level 2 chit with 3 to 4 CVs. So that's this table here. The known air strength is currently 17, 18, 19 and 4, 23. So 7 plus. It's on this chart here. So let's roll the dice. A 3 is 2/1. That's 2 CVs and 1 CVL. So we'll replace our L2 intelligence chip with a level 3. Which tells us it's 2 CVs and 1 CVL. That's our chit here. So we've got more information about them in that report. Let's go to our other spotters up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this guy should be in there, so we should be able to do another report. So there's 2 forces in here. There's VPs I 2 and Force E, which is a surface force. So for VPs I 2, let's look at our air search table. They are now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away. So it's very close. That's a 0 modifier, and that's all. So yeah, there's no modifier on this. We get an 8. Lovely. That is an S and chip +1. So VPs I 2 here is currently an L2. It's 4 plus CVs. Let's switch that located to a spotted counter. Just what we wanted. And on the L2 to L3 carrier forces table here, 4 plus carriers. And what is our strength here? So L2 currently is 11, 12 and 9, 21. So it's 17 plus. It's on the bottom of the chart here. Let's roll the dice to see what comes up. A 0, a 10. That means there are 4 CVs and 2 CVLs. So that's the biggest. However, the Japanese don't have a huge amount of CVs, so it's probably going to turn out to have mostly CVLs here if we ever find out exactly what it is. 4 and 2. Again, this is not necessarily 100% accurate. So that's that there. That's level 2 done. Hi Alistair, good to see you. It's probably lunchtime where you are, I think. But good to see you anyway. Right, what else are we doing? We've done that. We've done the spotting. We've done the change there, and oh yes, we've got to spot 4C as well. Although level 3, we don't really care about the chits anymore for them. An 8 certainly is a spotted as well. So that located becomes a spotted as well. So we have seen them. Good rolls there for the, but these are not the critical ones, to be honest. Useful, but not critical. Here with this spotted plane going out to its maximum range. Now see if we can see VPs I 3 and VPs I 4. VPs I 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 hexes away is no modifier. So let's roll for VPs I 3. Do we see it? 6. 6 is a spotted. That'll do. Lovely. That'll do for us. And VPs I 4, which I think is the one we're really after. That's got the damaged carrier Taiho on it. Let's see if we can find that. A 2, no, we missed that completely. So we only have VPs I 3 spotted. Well, we can go against the other one, I suppose. Right. That's all our searches. We're not sending any more out. It's too close to dark. So that's our air search segment done. Go to our air operations. So I think with our air operations, we're going to send out some more fighters, I think. 1, 2 here. Last phase, I couldn't find the rules for the deck crashes. That's why I've put these red markers on. It's actually only an optional rule, so I'm not going to bother. You just roll a dice and see if on a 10 where there's a deck crash. As I've gone a bit further on, I'm just not going to bother to do that. And that's life, really. So into Air Mission 5 goes 2 F4F, so no landing there. We don't need these bombers. Another one there. And another one here. Any more for any more, another one here. I was going to do another airstrike, but I think it's just too late now. Yeah, just too late. Send another one out here. And these are all bombers. So that's our launching. Air Mission 5. We'll send out. And we'll move it 1 hex for 1 fuel. It starts on 16 with the Hellcats and it moves to 15. So that's going to join in. And then we go to raise servicing. So I don't think we're going to raise anything. Hangar 2 servicing, I don't think we're going to do anything there either. We're going to just... Actually, we're going to pull things back here, aren't we? So we're going to pull these guys back. I don't think we'll need them. Wrap them up for the night. That's 2. Actually, we'll leave the fighter up and we'll pull this guy down. Pull these guys down. Send one guy back and pull that one down. Send those back to the hangar. Again. And just start to wrap things up, I think, here. There we go. And do any landings. So yes, we've got landings to do here. So we've got Air Mission 4. Actually, wasn't that meant to be critical fuel 1? I think it was. So these guys are going to land. Where can we land? Certainly we can land here. We'll be able to land 2. And it's a 12 or more, and they're on critical fuel 1, so we can't roll a 12. So they land safely. Next, we will land here and here. Again, safely, and here. So they're all down. So Air Mission 4 is over. And Air Mission 7 here with our 2 guys. We might as well land them as well. They've got a lot of fuel left, so they can just land quite happily. We'll both land them here on the Enterprise. And they're done as well. Great, so that's all our landing done. Anywhere to air combat? Yes, there is. We've got Intercept Squadron 5 and Intercept Squadron 3. We're up against Air Raid 2B. Air Raid 2B here is 9 strength. So 9 strength. We need to roll to see how many are escorts. On the 4 on the escort table. 4 on the escort table for 9 points. Look at the 8 chart. 4 is 2 escorts just. So it's 2 and 7 there. Right. So let's do air mission 5 first. I think we'll send 2 against the escorts. They have a -1 because they're fighting fighters for our fighters. So 2 coming in, a 10, -1 is a 9. 9 for 2 fighters is 2 losses. So we take the escorts out. Fighting back, they're on the 2 table. They get a 10, which does an elimination. It shoots one of us down. Okay, so that's not in the same in the task group hex, so it goes there for the losses. And these 2 guys are in the lost box. Right, that leaves 3 fighters to go for the bombers without worrying about their escorts. So on the 3 table and with no modifier, a 2. Yep, they miss them completely. Okay, and on to air mission 3, is it? Air mission 3, which is 3 fighters. Again, go straight for the bombers now. So same roll again. 7, much better. 7 is 1 of the bombers. So we have knocked down 3 aircraft, just 2 escorts and 1 bomber. So 6 bombers still coming in. Okay, that's it. So hopefully we'll get them next turn when they come over the task force with some more fighters, I think. Actually, I haven't got much to send out, really, so maybe we don't. See how these 2 air missions get on. We'll remove 3 fuel for each. Mission 3, why is it on 9? Yes, because it was the cap, wasn't it? Should be +10, 1, 2, 3. So there we go. That's air-to-air combat. Yep, so moving on. There's no Japanese air attack, no US air attack. So we just advance the phase marker. Move air raids. So this air raid moves to 2 closer. And this air raid moves into the hex with the task force. That's moving the air raids. Mission movement roll. 10. And draw our sequence chits. Right. First one is Force E. Force E is here. These are the battleships. So this is a surface force using mission movement. Mission movement is a 10, and from here a 10 is we would move 1 closer. Okay, that's with where our airstrike is. That's fine. I'm happy with that. It doesn't launch anything, of course, because it's a surface force. So that's Force E done. Next is Force R, which is these guys. And on a mission movement of 10, they just move another space. And finally, the third chit is Butai 4. Butai 4 here. So this is what we were going for, but can't spot at the moment. So this is level 4. We know exactly what's there. We have the damaged Taiho and the light carrier Junyo, and so our available air strength. Yeah, so the Taiho has heavy damage, so therefore it's got a air value of nothing. The Junyo has an air value of 6, so that's what we take now to get the air strength. So level 3, level 4 forces, we have an air strength of 6, but also they've got a lot returning and they've got a lot lost as well, so it's doubtful whether anything will come of this. We need to roll whether there is a raid, of course, and these guys are very close, so there's no modifier. An 8, yes there is, so back to this chart. We're on the air strength of 6, and a 7 gives us a raid of 5. However, the initial strength is 6, points lost and unavailable. We need to actually move all these back into servicing now. They've all just landed. So that's 14 unavailable. So a raid of 6 with 14 unavailable is in the 0 area, so there is no raid. Alright, and movement, they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 away. 7 away for a carrier force on the western, no, it doesn't matter if it's 8 or fewer, move 1 hex further away. So we have a mission movement of 0, so 0 moves them to there, moves the hex further away. Right, which is annoying because the airstrike was just about, well, it wasn't just about a pounce, but yeah, it's quite the same distance away, isn't it? Good. That's our 3 chits. Move our air missions, so our airstrikes move closer. That airstrike doesn't have to move, but we will use a fuel for it. Air missions, intercept missions 3 and 5 are going to, of course, go back to the task force. 3 and 5, they will use a fuel, and that's all we need to do for that. Onto air operations. Just thinking, maybe I do need a few more fighters here. Certainly this air raid is 3 hexes away, so it's going to arrive next action phase. So I might actually reverse what I did and bring some fighters up here and here for readying, and here everybody else is not really in any space, in any state to actually pop up. So we will then send these guys back to hangars because we're not sending out any airstrikes. And we'll also send these guys into the hangars. Just wondering whether I should ready any more fighters. No, I'll leave it for the moment. Good. All right. So that's my operations. Nobody's landing. Air-to-air combat. Of course, we have intercept 3 and 5. Intercept 3 uses 1, 2, 3 fuel, and it's got 3 fighters against the bombers. Here we go. No modifier. A 2 is no hits. Okay, and mission 5. 1, 2, 3. That is 4. Yeah, I believe that's 4 fighters. 4 fighters, no modifier. 7, that's a bit better. 4 fighters with a 7 is just 2 fighters. 2 bombers lost. So we'll take some down here. So we're left with 4 coming in. Oh, I thought I'd take more out than that, but never mind. That's our air-to-air combat Japanese air attack phase. So we do have these 4 bombers coming in. Yeah. 4 bombers coming in. Let's see which task force they're going to go for. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2. So they're going for the battle line. If they're going for the battle line, I believe we don't roll to see what happens with the battle line. Just check that, but I'm pretty sure we don't get a divert or anything. Here we go. So alright, so we should randomly do it after we roll the battle line. So we'll take, let's just do that again from scratch. We are rolling on the Japanese action versus the battle line here. I do believe you're supposed to do it first though, aren't you? Let's have a look at the air raid flow chart. Yeah, no, that doesn't help us. Alright, so actually we're doing this wrong. We do select it first, but we don't include the battle line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's task group 58.2 seems to be getting it the entire game here. So what is the action versus the battle line? 4 is they overfly the battle line and we get half the BB's anti-aircraft fire. Half the BB's anti-aircraft fire is 65. So on our anti-aircraft table here, we're on the 60 chart. See what happens to the planes from the flak. 2 is 1 aborted only. So one of them is out of the fight, but we didn't kill it. So we've got 3 left, and we've got the anti-aircraft fire of 58.2, which is currently 54. So on the 50 chart, I was hoping we actually do a decent roll here. I might actually take some damage. 7, that'll do, I think. 50 chart, a 7 is 1 and 1. So 1 is lost and 1 is aborted. So we only have 1 bomber coming in. So we just let a little bit through. Okay, so the air attack dice rolls. Each naval air point is worth 4. So we're on the 4 chart. We have 1 dice roll with a -1. So let's roll that dice on the air attack damage table here. A 2 with a -1 is a 1, which is 0 hits. Oh, actually, we just need to work out who they're aiming for. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because it might be this, in which case there's some planes on deck. So let's roll a d6 here. 5. So they're heading for the Monterey, and yeah, 0 hits because it was a -1 on the dice. Yeah, so no damage. So they're on their way home. They stay like that. We take the air raid marker off. And it's how far away? These are raid VPs 2, which is up here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 hexes. So it's heading back there. Right. So that's their air attack done. Our air attack. So we have an airstrike over here. We are going to try and find VPs 2 because the carriers are in there. I'm going to attempt a contact roll. Hi, Crossing. Who's winning? I don't think I am, but we'll see. We'll see. What was I doing? Oh yes, contact. Looking for the contact table. Strike contact table. Here we go. Back of card 1. So how far away are we? So 1, 2, 3. Only 4 hexes. So we're actually on the best chart. We are going to find something. They are spotted, so we have a +1 on the dice. And that's it. So +1 on the dice on the best table. Oh, 1. 1 goes to a 2, W0. So they find the battleships again. I'm just wondering if we can go for a second contact attempt on that, because otherwise we're going to do nothing. See, look at the contact roll. Here we go. No, I don't think so. Okay, well, no, I don't think so. Yeah, we can only use a wrong contact if the other force turns out to be a false contact at the intelligence level, but that's not the case. These are big battleships. So we are going to attack. We have the Haruna and the Congo with a cruiser force here. Let me just get a marker here to mark the hex. It's Force E. And what do we have attacking? This is Airstrike 2. Airstrike 2 has one escort, which isn't necessary. There's no cap for the battleships. We have coming in, let's see, torpedo bombers. So 5, 10, 15, 15 and 12. So that's 27 points coming in. There's no cap, so they are doubled. Well, let's see what happens with the anti-aircraft. So our anti-aircraft is, because these are heavily damaged, there's going to be a difference here. So a light damaged air value is halved and heavy damage air value is halved. So the two battleships, their air value, so it's 4 and 4 plus the 17 from the cruiser force, so that's 25. So their anti-aircraft against our 25 is this chart. Rolled a 9, it's pretty nice. That's one hit and one abort. So we will randomly pick those because they are, some of these are hell divers which aren't as good. So let's stick them in a cup. And the one that's aborted is a hell diver, and the one that's shot down is another hell diver. So okay, so that leaves us actually with 3 torpedo bombers and a hell diver, 3 Avengers. So 5, 10, 15, that's 19 coming in for the strike. 19 coming in for the strike. We will use a fuel, of course. And look at the air attack dice roll. So we've got a 19, which on the 18 there, that's 2 rolls of +1. So we need to decide where we send them. We have a very heavily damaged Congo here and the Haruna. There's really no point in playing with the cruiser force, I think. So we will have, well, that can only take another 4 hits and it sinks. 2 plus 1. I think we'll send them both onto the Congo. Let's get a hit, a good result here. So that's two rolls with +1. A 10 and a 5, that's going to be good enough. A 5 goes to a 6 is 3 hits. A 10 plus 1, 11 is 5 hits. So that's another 8 hits there. That will sink the Congo. So the Congo is no more. We don't have to do the previous hits, current turn hit stuff because it's not a carrier. So I'll just get rid of these. So we have sunk the Congo. And they are going to be returning. Right. So that's our airstrike. This airstrike isn't quite there yet. And that's all we have to do for that. We go to advance the phase marker to action phase 3. Okay, action phase 3. Move all air raids. That moves further in. Roll for mission movement is a 2. Get rid of the green dice there. And pick up our chits. No op is the first one. Guam is the second one, which is effectively a no op. And finally we have Butai 2. Okay. So this is the guy we've missed again. They have already moved, but we need to check if they're going to send a raid. They can't actually send a raid because both of their raid markers are here, but they do move down. And they have moved, so Butai 2, that's it for them. And that's our three chits for the turn. Move our air missions. So we are going to, of course, move. I think we'll leave air mission 3 above. We will move air mission 5 up. And our airstrikes will move back towards the cat. Oh no, these guys will move on. These guys will move back towards the carriers. Use a fuel each again. And that's our air movement. No search segment. Air operations, any launching. So yeah, I think we will launch another air mission here. 1, 2, 3, and I think we'll put them in cap. Or shall we send them 1 hex? Actually, yeah, I think we'll send them 1 hex. So intercept 4 will appear and then move. We launched from here, here, and here, I think, wasn't it? Yeah, it's already got one. And they are on 15 fuel. So used 1 to move 1 hex. And they will join in. Raise servicing to ready. I don't think we need to do anything with that. Hangar to and from servicing. We'll bring these back to the hangar. And that's all we need to do. Landing. Landing, we have air mission 3. Takes a fuel to land. There's no modifier, they land safely. So we will land here and here. 58.2s onto Wasp and Bunker Hill. And that's all our air operations. Air-to-air combat, we have Intercept 4 and Intercept 5. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3 for fuel. This is Air Raid 1A. So this is 4 points only. How many are escorts? 7. Sounds like 1. Oh, charts behind me. Escort fighter table, it's only 4. So a 7 is 1 escort, yes. So 1 escort, 3 bombers. And we have air missions 4 and 5. So we'll have air mission 5 go in, 1 fighter against the escorts. So 1 minus 1. A 4 going to a 3 is nothing. Their fight back is a 6 is nothing. And then we have 3 fighters to attack the bombers. On the 3 table, no mod. A 1 is nothing. So we're on to air mission 4, which again we put 1 against the escorts. Minus 1, 10, lovely. 10 goes to a 9, so that escort is down. The escort fires back. A 9 is it's able to attack the other escorts. So it does get that. I think it does get that go. So attacking our fighters going for the bombers. 6 is nothing. Our 2 bombers going through. 2 fighters going through to the bombers. No modifier is a 1. That has nothing, no effect. So we get rid of the escort, but not the bombers. Still 3 bombers coming through. Okay, that's our intercept done. That's our air combat done. There's no Japanese air attack. There is a US air attack, so we're trying to do a contact here for Butai 3, because that's the only one spotted. airstrike contact table here. How far away are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hexes away. So we're on the second column. They are spotted, so it's a +1. 2 goes to a 3. A 3 is W0. Ah, now this is interesting. So it's the wrong target, something in the same hex. So that would be VPs I 4, which is actually what we were after. So that's actually worked out very, very well for us. So we are attacking the damaged Taiho and the Junyo with our aeroplanes. So that's great. There will be cap. So let's look and see what the cap is. So their air value is currently 6 because the Taiho does not contribute. It's only got the Junyo's 6 air value. 6 or less, minus unavailable. Well, we have minus 14 there. So actually it's 6 or less because it's like negative. Let's see what the cap is. A 3 is, yeah, there's 1 cap strength point facing our bombers, and this is airstrike 1. So we have 2 fighters to keep off the cap, so we'll roll that. Two fighters with a -1. 10, lovely. It's a 9. Yeah, that cap is dead. The cap tries to get to us. An 8. An 8 is an A. An A is one surviving cap may fire. So, but it's not surviving, so it doesn't get through. So our cap disappears. That's another point lost for VPs I 4, isn't it? Yes, VPs I 4. All right. And so we've got through. We've now got the anti-aircraft. So anti-aircraft value is 16 from the cruiser force and 8 from the Junyo. The Taiho's is it's a heavy damage CV is halved. So 16 from the cruisers, 8 from Junyo becomes 24, and halved for Taiho is 5, so it's 29. So that means on the 25 chart here. So let's roll that. 4, not brilliant. And a 4 is absolutely nothing, a 0 result. So the anti-aircraft doesn't do anything to us. So let's see what we've got here in airstrike 1. So airstrike 1, we have a couple of Hell divers, a couple of Dauntless dive bombers, and a couple of Avenger torpedo bombers. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 28. 28 come in. There was a cap, so we're not doubled. And let's look on the air attack die rolls chart. 28 is 2 plus 1s and 1 at 0. So it's 3 rolls. So the whites will be the plus 1s. Actually, no, we need to vary them. Yeah. So Taiho has 5 hits left on it. We'd really like to sink it. So actually, you know what? I'm going to put the 2 plus 1s onto Taiho and the 0 onto the Junyo. So let's roll. These are 5s, and that's a 5. They're all 5s. So let me get the correct. Here we go. So this chart, we've got all 5s. So each of them are worth 2. Are there any servicing box on the turnaround track? Yes, there are. There. So per air point, turnaround track for this force. So per air point, there are actually 4 air point servicing. So that gives actually a +4. So they all become 9s. So 4. So these are 4 points each. That's 8 hits on the Taiho, which will kill it. And then 4 points on Junyo, which I think will cripple it. So this is a good attack. We have that's 8 hits on the Taiho. Which will kill it. Only had 5 left. And then 4 hits on the Junyo. That may be something which makes our showing for this scenario at least decent or not abysmal. Great. Well done, those guys. They'll turn around and come home. They'll use a point for their... no, it's not them. Use a point for their bombing mission. And they will start to return. Good stuff. Good stuff. So that would be 2 carriers dead and a light... 2 fleet carriers dead and a light carrier crippled. Wonderful. That's a day's work, I suppose. Well, let's see how the victory points turn out anyway. That's our air attack done. We move the action phase marker on. So back to moving air raids. So the Japanese air raid moves on to our task force. We roll for mission movement. That's a 1. And draw our chits. US subs. Ah, great. Now, unfortunately, we have got a sub anywhere near here. Otherwise, we could have a go at the Junyo as it's crippled. But the sub will move on. This sub is middle of nowhere, really. That sub removes its pin marker. And up here, Stingray and Kavala. Stingray was left behind, so Stingray will move in, and Kavala would move in as well. And let's try and do some contact here. So Kavala was that was coming in from this direction, and the task force was moving that direction. So it's coming in obliquely. So we'll do a submarine contact. So our submarine contact table here. We need a 5 or more. It was an oblique approach, so it's -1, -2. So we're looking for a 5, but it's -2 on the dice. 5 or more. 2, no, that's failed. And Stingray will also attempt to contact. Now they came from behind, so that's a -3 on the dice. 7 -3 is a 4, just missed. No contact from the subs. That's all for them. I was hoping there might be something there, but never mind. Next chit is Force H. Force H is our guys here. We will move the located marker to an approximate sighting. And our mission movement is a 1. So a 1 actually moves it to here. It's actually adjacent to our task force. We're not running the advanced rules, so there is actually no service combat here, and anyway, it won't come out very well. It's just a cruiser squadron, and VPs I 3 is the last one. VPs I 3 we've already moved, spotted. VPs I 3 here is still level 2, so it could do an air raid. We'll move these guys on from servicing. That's 7 and 17 is 24 air strength, level 2 air strength. So known air strength is 24. Oh, it's up here. So 24, and it's known to be 2 to 3 CVs. So 1 column to right, it's on the maximum column. This will be interesting. Mind you, it's got a lot of unavailable craft. A 5 is 13 and 12 is 25 coming in. On the reduction chart though, we have 25 air points for the raid, and points available on lost is 24. 22 or more, there's a 0, so there is no raid. They've pretty much shot their bolt with the number of aircraft they've got, and these guys aren't ready yet. So yeah, it's nothing for them, and they have already moved, so that's them done. Onto our air missions. So our air missions are going to, of course, move on to that air raid. These will come back. Everybody uses a fuel to do all that, and that's our movement. Air operations, no launching, nope. Race servicing to ready, nope. Hangar to or from servicing, so we'll bring this guy back in, seeing as there's some aircraft incoming. We're not landing anybody, so on to air-to-air combat. Air-to-air combat, this is mission 4 and 5 against Air Raid 1A. 1A has no escorts, just 3 bombers. So Air Mission 4 has 3 fighters. No -1. It's just straight roll, a 1, abysmal, nothing. And Air Mission 5, which has 4 fighters. A 9, much better. A 9 is 2. So we take out 2 of the 3, leaving 1 naval air unit left to actually go through with the raid. Fair enough. Let's go on to a Japanese air attack segment. So choose target task group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So task group 58.3 for the first time. We don't need these anymore. Okay. And how does it fare with the battle line? A 0, I think, is an avoid, which is very unfortunate. Yes, 8 to 10. There's no anti-aircraft fire from the battle line. So it's just the task group 58.3s, which is 69. So just 1 short of 70. So on the 60 chart here. Mind, there's only 1 strength point coming in. A 7 will do. 7 is 2 abort, 1 eliminated. So it's eliminated. And the air raid is no longer. So nothing got through. Yeah. Did I not set a cap? No. Air Mission 3. Oh, maybe I didn't send anything up. I thought I did, but maybe not. Righty-ho. And we need to reduce these 1, 2, 3 for their combat 3 fuel. And yeah, we're back as we were. Great. Japanese air attack. We got no air attack ourselves. We are at the end of the turn, so we convert the current turn hit markers to previous turn hit markers. Also, the Junyo is actually crippled because it's within 2 hits of its maximum value. These guys then go to another 8 hits here. Okay. How am I finding the board layout? It says Alistair. Yeah, I'm not sure I'm completely au fait with all the ergonomics here. I think these displays are a bit too big. I think it could have been smaller to encompass maybe some extra tables. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad, but I think there's a few decisions. The one thing I do find, though, is that I suppose unless you're doing the second day, and then even then, we've got a lot of board space. If I twist it slightly, as you can see, this space here is kind of dead. So I haven't really used this at all. That's not ergonomically great, but I suppose in the other scenarios it might become relevant. I think it does with the Oilers in the second day, but I think they probably could have trimmed this a little bit down the left hand side on the board, but that's just me not really knowing whether that's really needed. Some of the colours I think could have been improved. As you can see, we've got these zone markers here for the placement of the forces, which are in white. Everything else, there's a lot of white counters here as well. The force counters, the sub counters, the search counters are white. Those are white. So really, it kind of looks a bit muddled, really, to the user. Lots of pastel colours here. Only the fuel is really a dark colour. So yeah, not sure about the colours as well. But board layout, yeah, I think the emission area is probably a bit too big. But other than that, I think it's okay. Right. Where are we now? We're on the new turn. So we are now on the last daylight turn, 1730. And action phase 1, fill our cup with our chits, and then pick out 3 chits for us. Okay, that's all of them done, ready. And we will move air raids. There are no air raids to move. So roll for our mission movement. Action phase 1 is a 4. Draw our chits. No op, the first one. Butai 2. Butai 2. Interesting. That's the guys up here. So first thing they do is they can do anti-submarine warfare against these subs. So we roll ASW for Kavala. There's no modifiers because they didn't contact. A 1 has no effect, and then for Stingray below, a 6. 6 is pinned. That spotted becomes located, and Stingray is pinned. Okay, any air raids? So this is a level 3 intelligence now, so it has a counter telling us what the strength is, which is actually 46. So on a 46, actually it still hasn't got its, actually will have its air raids back. These guys will all land. Do they? Air return is the last thing, so yeah, it doesn't have spare air raid markers, so it won't launch a raid now. They're just recovering aircraft. And movement, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's only 4 hexes away. 4 hexes away. We are in the western side. It's going to move further away, and it was a 4 for the mission movement, so they move to there. And that's VPs I 2 done. And the third is VPs I 3. VPs I 3 here is these guys here. VPs I 3 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 away. So they will move away. And we will also become located. Move 1 hex away. Unlikely it's going to raid. It's 2 to 3 CVs. It has, oh, these guys do become available, but only at the end of the turn. So they're still servicing. So it has 7, 24 strength points. It's now 1710, so we start to get negative modifiers for the arrival of air raids. Sorry, 1730. So that's a -1. And these guys were there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so a -1 on the dice. 5 or more for an attack. 6 going to a 5. That is an attack, yes. So the air raid strength of VPs I 3, it's level 2. Air raid strength, known air strength of 24. So, and it's up 1 column. So it's on the max chart. A 5 is 13/12, so that's 25 strength points. However, they have unavailable 1724, of course. All of them are unavailable. So I think this is going to come out as nothing. 25, and its maximum, yes, it's 0 value. So no air raid. They've moved. That's VPs I 2 done. Let's move on to move air missions. I think we will land. Who we've got here? Air mission 5 needs to land. That's fine. Air mission 4 can stay up for a while. It's going to be dusk next turn, but we've got phases here, so we're fine. Yeah. So we will just use a fuel for our airstrikes coming back, use a fuel for 4, and use a critical fuel for 5. Move these guys back in. And these chaps stay here. I've got air mission 3 out here, but air mission 3 isn't doing anything. So let's put that back there. It shouldn't be there. All right. Search segment. Yep, we'll use that. So we will bring this hell diver back. So I think that's radius 3 gone. I think, yeah. So that hell diver lands. Where's it going to land? We'll land it here, I think. This guy's coming back. 1, 2, 3, 4. They can attempt to search for VPs I 4 and 3 again, though it's not really relevant, to be honest. VPs I 4 and 8, that will be a success. VPs I 4, we already know what it is, so it will just end up being spotted. And why is that there? Should be there, actually. I think I might have moved it, so it moves on. 4. And this one here, 3, 4. That's not going to spot anything. Right, so that's our search done. Air operations, we're not going to launch anything. We are going to land. We should have actually brought these guys in last turn into the hangar. Or did we land them last turn? Yeah, we landed them last turn. We'll bring them into the hangar this turn. And the SB2C as well. And we are landing these guys, which are on a +1 on a safe roll, so they'll be fine. And we'll bring them in to the main carriers here. Actually, yeah, bring them into the light carriers. Yeah, let's fill their complements up. And that's air mission 5 gone. Right, do we want to ready anything? Yeah, I think so. I think we will start to ready some fighters just in case. That'll probably do us, I think. That's everything done. Air-to-air combat. There isn't any. No Japanese air attack, no US air attack. Advance the turn marker, phase marker, sorry. We move all raids, there aren't any. So activation segment, roll for the mission movement. A 9. Pull our chits out. Hiya, Cole. Good to see you. Ah, the subs. Wonderful. That's what we're waiting for. I'm quite desperate with these guys. Move the subs in. That sub moves into there. This sub moves into there. That one removes its pin. Let's try some contact, shall we? Cavalier here, trying to contact VPs I 2. They moved in from the rear. They were chasing them, so it's a -3. Not a lot of chance, but let's try anyway. So -3 on the dice. Looking for a good roll here. 2's not good enough. Cavalier goes nothing. Calgor's not close. Finback though. Finback again is chasing. So -3, 4. Nope, no good. Subs don't find the task forces. Oh well. I was hoping a little bit, but Force H now. Force H are these guys. So right, so they're adjacent. So they engage in surface combat or use mission movement. We're not actually using surface combat. Just check that's the case. I think it's an advanced rule only. Okay, so he won't move into the hex. He will just use mission movement, and will stay still if he's told to move into the task force hex. So the mission movement is 9. That approximate sighting goes. 9 does actually take us into the task force hex, so he doesn't move. He just sits there. Right, that was Force H, and the third chit could have had some surface combat there if I was running the advanced rules. Guam is a no-op, so that's done. Right, moving air missions, the airstrike moves in. That airstrike moves in. We reduce those 2. Air mission 4 stays where it is, but uses a fuel. And onto air operations. So we are going to ready these fighters just in case. We are going to bring these into the hangar. I don't think we're doing anything else. Air-to-air, there's no air-to-air combat, no Japanese air attack, no US air attack. So advanced phase marker is 3, phase 3, action phase 3. So no air raids to move. Roll our mission movement. 6, and our chits. Chits are Force R. That's these guys who are going to enter the invasion zone. Butai 1 down here. ASW attack on our sub Finback. A 9 is not good. A 9 is very bad. So there's no modifier because we didn't manage to do anything to them. And a 9 pinned for 2 turns. Okay. So no luck with them. And then are they going to launch an air attack? So Butai 1 here. It does have naval air available on the 0 to 3. Let's roll if they are available. 3, they are available. So they have 2 aircraft available. If you see. But here they've had losses. This is 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. It's 2 CVs and 1 CVL at level 3. But its air strength is 23. So level 3 force. Oh, let's roll to see if they actually do mount a raid. A 4 is no, because it's a -1 for the turn. So there is no air raid. Movement, they have... how close are they? So they are 10 to 14 hexes, but they're in the eastern map zone, so they will do mission movement. It's a 6, so they actually move here, and that spotted becomes located. Oops, goes with him. Right, was that it? For no, there's one more chit to go. Butai 4. Now we've already had Butai 3 here, so Butai 4 becomes located as well. They've already moved. We see if Butai 4 is actually going to launch. Butai 4 is in all kinds of trouble here. It did have an air value of 6. I don't think it's sending anything anywhere. Air strength level of 6. Let's see if it's actually sending a raid out. A 4, no it's not. Okay, we don't have to worry. And movement, it actually has a crippled ship. The Junyo is actually crippled. Okay, so it will only move on turns on the half hour. This is one with half hour. So it's retiring. That means that it will automatically go the inverse of the mission movement. So on a 6, it'll actually move. Actually, we already moved, haven't we? Yeah, Butai 3 already moved, so yeah, we don't have to do the movement yet. Right, okay, yeah, we're done. That's our chit's done. So we're on to air missions. We'll move our airstrike. Oh, airstrike should have landed last turn, actually. Yeah, let me quickly do that. So airstrike 2 is coming back. And they use a fuel to land. And where are we going to land? I think I landed. I left the fleet carriers for that task, so there. So those landed. Forgot to do that. So there is no air mission 2 anymore. They had 1 fuel left, so they don't have to roll. We move on. Air mission 1 still has a little way to go to get back to us. 3 hexes away. And air mission 4 uses up a fuel. That's our movement. Our air operations, we're going to launch launch 3 fighters into cap. That'll be air mission 2 into cap. And we're just going to bring these guys in that landed last turn into the hangar. And that's done. Landing nothing else. No air-to-air combat, no air attacks. Advance the phase marker. So on faction phase 4. No air raids to move. Roll for our mission movement. A 2. Oops. Draw the chits. The sequence of play, Matt, it does look actually. And tell you what would really work on this game is those sort of Stika Joe card system. of going through a sequence of play, because it kind of explains it here, but there's no real detail. So it would be good to the sort of the sub instructions would look good on cards instead for each of these. Anyway, Force K. Force K is here. Mission movement of 2, moves up this way, and that's K done. US move. So we want to move closer to airstrike 1, so we'll move to there. Intercept force stays. And finally, Force E. Force E has already moved with the carriers here, so it's not going to do anything. I think it could do an ASW attack on Cavalier though. A 4 is going to be nothing. Needs a 5 at least. So that's the chits done. Air mission movement. Airstrike 1 comes in. Intercept 4 follows the task group and fuel clicks down. That's done. Air operations. We're not going to launch anything. We are not going to do anything else. Nothing's landing yet. So no air-to-air combat, no air attack, no US air attack. So we're on to the end of the turn. So these previous turn markers now become permanent. That means that the Taiho is dead. And it means that there is 4, actually, yeah, 4 damage on the Junyo. All these markers go, and it is indeed crippled. Great. That's all. Advance the game turn marker. So we are on the last game turn. Probably rattle through this quite quickly because there's not much happening on the aircraft side. There'll be a big negative on the air raid possible. So let's see if we can charge through it. Let's see where we get to at the end of the game. Get our chits back. I'm really not going to affect the Japanese in any way. I doubt whether they're going to affect me. Can't see any air raids coming in of any significance. Roll the mission movement. A 9. Draw our chits for action phase 1. We have Butai 1. Butai 1 becomes approximate. To be honest, I don't really care anymore. I can't do anything about it. And is it going to launch a raid? Butai 1. We have, let's roll to see the possibility. A 3 is no. Just letting you know that the negative modifier here now is -3 for the 1850 turn. So it's very unlikely we'll see an air raid anyway. That's Butai 1 done. Is it going to move? It is. And it will go mission movement, which is straight ahead there. It's not quite going to reach the invasion zone. Next is Butai 4. Let's see. Butai 4 has the cripple ship. It can't actually launch anything. So it's not going to launch, and on movement it can't move this turn, so they stay there because of the crippled ship. Next we have US subs. Good. So Pin comes back from there, Albacore moves in, Stingray moves in, Bang moves closer. Okay, let's do some contact. So the Albacore here, that's chasing, so on a -3 for contact, a 1, no chance. Cavalier was already there, so there's no modifier on the contact. A 2, no. Stingray moved in, chased it, so -3. A 9, yes. So 9 is a 6. That is contact. So we have submarine contact here, and there's no point in shadowing. We're just going to attack. So let's do that, and that's. I'm just thinking with the Albacore. The Albacore had a +3 because there's a crippled ship there. What did I roll? I think it was. Yeah, it was a 1, wasn't it? So still didn't help. Submarine attack table. No modifiers. We're just looking for a high number. 1 is definitely not it. So we failed. And that's it. That's those. And yeah, fin back and bang are not in position. So that's our subs done. That's the 3 chits for action phase 1. Air missions. So we're at dusk now. We are going to move airstrike 1 in. That's going to have a -1 fuel. We have air mission 4 and air mission 2. Actually, we didn't do air mission 2, did we? Oh yeah, because it's cap. Air mission 4 will just keep up there, not doing very much. That's our air movement onto the operations. No launching, no servicing, landing. So we're landing airstrike 1 coming back in. It is dusk. So we have, I think we have an option here to illuminate, but I don't think we need to. That's 1 fuel to land, and then so we have +2 on the dice, and dusk adds safe return. Just looking for. So the safe return table, we currently have a +2 on the dice, and dusk is +1 if not illuminated. I don't think I'm going to illuminate because there's very little chance. So +3 on the dice for all these fighters. So we will land this guy. An 8 +3, 11 is fine. This chap landing here on the Langley. 10 +3 is a 13. We need to roll to see if he survives. 6 to 10, he's eliminated. He is eliminated. Next, SP2C is landing here. 5 is fine. Here. 2 is fine. Here. 6 is fine. Here. 9 +3 is 12 possibility. 6 or more eliminated. 2, he's fine. Land here on the Wasp. 3 is fine, and we'll land on the Bunker Hill. 4 is fine. Okay, so they're all done. Airstrike 1 is back. They've all landed. We lost one of the air points, but never mind. No air-to-air combat, no attacks. Advance the phase marker. So action phase 2. Mission dice roll is a 1, and we pull out our chits. US move. We don't move anywhere now. Probably back here, I think. Next is Butai 2. Butai 2 has not moved yet. It becomes an approximate sighting. Air ray possibility. 4, no, not with a -3. on the dice. Nope, no air raids. And movement, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is going to move away. And on the 1, it's going to move in this direction. Okay, how do I like it overall? Yeah, it's a good game. It takes a lot to get into it. It is a bit of effort to really understand what's going on here. Once you've kind of clicked it, you're fine. Rulebook doesn't have an index, which is a bit of a problem, because you remember a rule, but you half remember it, and looking it up can be an absolute nightmare. That's a big problem with the game. Overall, though, it works very well. It's very tense. And you have Japanese airstrikes coming in from all over the place. Advise you to have a look at the other live streams and get an idea here. So yeah, pretty good, actually, pretty good. Yeah, certainly play it again. Right, where were we? We had yeah, on VPs I 2, so we got one more chit to go, and we got Force K. Force K doing our mission movement here is going to move into there. Right, that's our chits done. We need to go to moving air missions. We'll move intercept fall back there. Let's put that in there. We will any air operations, not launching anything. We are going to bring these into the hangars. And that's all we're going to do. No air-to-air combat, no air attacks. Advance the phase marker and roll the mission dice. 5, draw some chits. So I thought we'd crack through this because we're not getting any raids. Force H is here, and it is going to do mission movement of 5. Mission movement of 5 is straight ahead, and that's H done. Next is VPs I 3. VPs I 3, let's roll to see if it does an air raid. Or 10, yeah, interesting. 10, that is an air raid. However, VPs I 3 has been quite beaten up. These guys are available on the 0 to 3. They are available. Okay, so they have 24 strength. You might actually see an air raid here. It is level 2 force with 24 strength, and it's up 1 column, so on the 28 here. Let's roll that. On a 1, it does a 9 followed by 9, so that's 18. That's an air raid of 18. The reduction chart, though, is minus these, which is 17. So it's 18 minus 17 is an air raid of 4. Wow. Okay, we have an air raid of 4 coming in from VPs I 3. Very late on. I probably don't think it's going to get to us, really, in the game. How far away? 2. Ooh, it's quite close as well. Intercept range of 2 is 3 hexes. And it's coming from VPs I 3, which is here. So it's coming this direction. Well, how's that for a turn up of the books? Okay. And it's already moved, I believe. Already had VPs I 4 move. Yep. Okay. So that's the chits. We've got one more to go in this phase. And that's Force R. That's these chaps here who are just going to continue moving towards the exit here. And that's it for our chits. are moving our air missions, so we need to do a launch here, won't we? Yeah, we'll need to recover these guys. These guys are going to land, so they're going to stay in the spot. I think we will move our cap onto the map, move it 1 hex. Just need to check about the end of the game here, because we've only got one more action phase. So on this scenario, it finishes on this turn, but we have an air raid in progress. Just want to see what it's supposed to happen with it. Yeah, so it actually doesn't matter. So we only do air movement. So it's only on our side to land troops. So actually that air raid's not going to go anywhere. So we will keep the cap in. It's not going to get to us by the end of the game. It would just be short. That's all right. Yeah. What do we need to do here? Where were we? I've lost where we are actually now. It was our air mission movement. Yeah, we're going to land these guys, weren't we? That's right. So no launches, and we will just land these guys for an extra point. It'll be a +1 for dusk, but we can only roll 11, so it's not going to be a problem. We will just land all these on the light carriers here. Coming back in, so intercept 4. Right, no attack segments. Action phase 4. Move all air raids. Moves to there. Roll for mission movement. This is the last bit of the game. 6. Draw sequence chits. Not really that relevant, I don't think, anymore. A no-op, followed by Force E. Force E has already moved. Yeah, Force E has already moved. Yeah, because we had VPs I 2. So I think that should be actually a approximate sighting by now. And finally we have 1, which is nothing. Okay, air mission movement, so we are going to land intercept 2. So whatever their fuel was, it's going to be at least 10. I won't bother rolling for it. Air operations, we are going to land these guys. Here, that's fine at dusk. No air combat, no air attack. Advance the phase marker. We actually advance the turn marker. We actually do have some search planes still out, which we can bring back. Advance the gain turn marker. That's it. So we're at night now. We've got 2 planes coming back in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So they will take 2 turns to come back. So we'll actually be here by the time they get back at night. I don't suppose landing search planes. Rolling at night is a +3, so I suppose we roll that +3 for each one. 6 is fine, and a 2 is fine, so these guys also land. and they land successfully, and that's the game. So let's see how we do on the victory points. So it's the standard victory points for this scenario, and the victory points are, well, we get for damaging and sinking Japanese carriers and destroying naval air points. So actually our sinking of the Congo actually doesn't count for anything for our victory, so that's irrelevant. So for our awards, for each CV sunk we get 25. So I'm going to get some dice here just to represent. So we get 25 for sinking the Zuikaku. We get another 25 for sinking the Taiho. So that gives us 50 points. 50 points. Now, we get nothing for the Congo. Now, air points, we get 1 point per 5 air points. Now, firstly, Guam, I didn't put them back from when I broke down this game. So there were 5 lost air points on Guam. So that's 51. We'll look on here, and we have 17 and 11, 28, 38, 48, 49, 49, 59, 59, 60, 67 points. So 67 points, nearest is 65. So that's 12, 13. 13, I think, isn't it? Yeah. So that's 13 points. So we get another 14. Sorry, yeah. Yeah, so we end up with 64. That's it. So that is our DAR score. Now, what do we lose? So -5 per any carrier lightly damaged. So we have the Bunker Hill is lightly damaged. We lose 5. So that goes to 59. Then no carrier heavily damaged, no carrier crippled, per US light carrier sunk 25. So this comes 25 gives us to 34. Okay, we didn't lose a submarine. So for air units not lost in the task group Hex, that's 3 of them. So for each 2, we lose a point. So that's 33. Then -1 per 4 air units lost. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 would be I don't know if you round it up, but per 4, so 15 would be 3 points. Yeah, so we're down to 30. Each battleship to exit from the invasion zone, none. And for each cruiser or destroyer to exit, none. They didn't quite get there. So that's it. That's the level of victory. So we got 30. 30, oh, look at this. So 30 is actually a US defeat just by 1 point. Battle is judged a Japanese victory and the invasion is delayed. You are relieved of command of the carrier forces and sent home to testify at a congressional inquiry. Wow. Wow, that's tough. That's really tough. I killed 2 fleet carriers. But it wasn't good enough. There you go. That's a defeat for the US. Just. Wasn't even a draw. Oh well, anyway, that's the end of the journey. 30 victory points is it for this scenario and this playthrough. So thanks very much for being on the live stream. Much appreciated for you to join us on the journey. And yeah, if you want to watch out for some more live streams and recordings on the and the occasional chat on the channel, you'll be welcome. It'll be good to see you. Until then, from the Marianas Islands in 1944 to a much chastened American commander, it's bye for now.